I'm new to this. You're not as new to this.
This is everything we know about love. Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of my 20-something challenge series. Today I'm joined by eman, and today we're going to talk about love. We have been dating for
3 years. 3 years now.
We're in our 4th year.
Right. We're entering our 4th year now.
Yeah, love is awesome. So I experienced a lot of it with him, so I thought it would be nice to sit down and talk about it. So yeah. Okay, the first question is, what is your first memory of love?
When I would think of love, I would think of just romantic love. I wouldn't think of like familial love or things like that. When I was in middle school, for example, I would tell you that it was my crush during middle school. You know, like the first person that was like, oh, like, let's share earbuds together, or like, you know, things like that, right? I know. But
so who's your crush?
The blonde white girl. The blonde white girl in middle school. I would say my very first one that I can think of in conscious memory. Maybe when I was like 3 or 4, I remember I wouldn't stop pestering my dad about breakfast. I would be like, Dad, I want to try pancakes. I want pancakes. Please make me them. And he would yell at me. He'd be like, no pancakes, not today. And then I got really sad. I remember I like went downstairs and like I hid away. Next thing you know, I start smelling like
pancakes.
I started smelling pancakes. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know what pancakes smelled like. I think it was like, you know, one of the first times I had pancakes. But you know, I smelled the pancakes and I went upstairs and my dad like hugged me and he was like, I made pancakes.
Aww.
And I was thinking about it actually pretty recently. I think he eventually told me later on, or like we talked about it and we were laughing about this memory because he also remembers. He was like, the reason why I kept saying no is because I didn't know how to make pancakes. What about you?
I think one of the few memories I have are moments with my grandmother, my Lola. She took care of me when I was growing up. There was this one time I lived in an apartment complex in Baltimore, and she was taking me down the flight of stairs because the elevator broke or something after a party, and we were going back to our apartment, and she slipped and fell on the stairs, but she was carrying me. But she like positioned herself so that I wouldn't get hurt, and then she ended up hurting her hip, and it like that incident still affects her hip today. Similar to you, familial love is one of the first memories I think of love for me. Just knowing that she would sacrifice a part of herself for my own safety because she cared about me, has instilled and ingrained a lot about like sacrifice when it comes to love and relationships. The other example I would say is when I discovered who Justin Bieber was. Cause in the 3rd grade, I got a Justin Bieber magazine from the grocery store. Like, I like Justin Bieber, and I would check if anyone was looking, and then I went to kiss his face on the magazine, and my dad was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so embarrassing." Justin Bieber was my first love. So, how do you know what love feels like? The best type of love for me feels like a calmness in my head. I think it's because I have anxious, avoidant tendencies. I am someone that gets very not romantic, that gets very anxious about how people perceive me and if they like me and if I'm bothering them and all these things. And so I know that I'm truly feeling love when that anxious part of my brain is quiet and it feels calm and it feels at peace, because I know that I'm loved and I'm certain about it. And I feel like I can feel so much more in the present with the people that I'm with. And honestly, I also feel like the most authentic version of myself. Love simultaneously feels like a calmness that rushes over me, but also this buzz of excitement that I get to just be who I am around people that care about me. So it's like both things.
I feel like I know what love feels like when I'm willing to go out of my way to do something for them. And I mean that in like, you know, the most basic senses, or the most basic examples, or, you know, in unserious times and serious times. I know I love someone when I'm willing to do that, like without even second guessing it, or without giving second thought, hesitating. I'm just already on my way. I also know, you know, I feel that way when I'm in a room with them and it's pushing bedtime and I don't want to leave yet, but
Real.
so I guess, you know, the 12 hours Skype calls, that's so real. I mean, for me, like,
sleep does not exist.
Yeah.
You just want to be with them all the time.
You just want to be with them all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you get like separation anxiety,
Yeah.
you know.
It's not
like
even FOMO, it's separation
anxiety. Yeah, although I do get really bad FOMO.
Yeah, me too.
But whether it's like familial love, platonic love, romantic love, you know, if it's going out of my way, if it's not convenient for me to do something, yet I still want to do it. Not even I'm just doing it like just for them too, even though I would. Like, I'm also doing it because I want to, you know.
Because I saw a TikTok about the idea that showing up for your friends and showing love will not, like, it's never 100% convenient.
Oh, absolutely not.
Honestly,
it's never gonna be convenient for yourself.
Yeah, showing up and like loving people usually majority of the time comes out of inconveniency, but it's the desire to still be there and to go out of your way to be there for people. That's what makes.
Yeah. I feel like that the fact that it's like, it's also just so second nature. It's like, for me, I don't just love people unless it is unconditional, essentially. Like, I just don't throw away that feeling to anyone, you know? I mean, sure, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I love that person, but I don't actually love them. It's just like, you know, I fuck with them, you know? I like them. But it's like, when I really love someone, you know, it's like, it's unconditional, you know?
Oh, who taught that to you? Who taught that to you?
I would say my few friends in high school that you know, they taught me that platonically. Again, as I reflect, like, being older and when I spend time with my parents again as, you know, an adult, it's like they really did teach it to me subconsciously by the way they acted with each other. You know, this is what my dad told me, you know, I'll go wherever your mom goes. You know, so whether that's like a really long car drive to like Toronto, like 11 hours away, you know, like he'll go with her, you know, he'll take her wherever she wants to go. It's things like that, you know, that teach me like, oh, that's unconditional love.
Specific examples of unconditional love though are when in college my one friend had an assignment due at noon the next day, and I knew that I loved him and that he was very important to me in my life when I pulled an all-nighter with him even though I didn't have an assignment to do. Shout out Josh. But I was like, of course I'll be there for you. Of course, like, I want to spend time with you even if I mess up my sleep schedule and I enter the crazy hours of the night. Of course I'll do that. Or even when, like, I've been having a hard time being at home and seeing my friends, and I live kind of far away from a lot of the friends I made in college, but whenever I say, oh, I don't know if I can make it because I won't have access to my car, or I don't think I can make that drive, I have friends who will make a 40-minute drive up to come see me, to pick me up and take me somewhere even farther away. And I think unconditional love is also when things can feel so burdensome, but to them it's just like, of course I would do this. Also, even when unconditional love is also even when you're upset at them, you still communicate to them.
Yeah. You don't just like stop loving them.
Yeah, because
It just doesn't like disappear like that.
because it's also like, I love you so much and I care so much about this relationship that
So let's fix it.
let's fix it.
Let's fix it, yeah. Definitely. Oh, definitely, yeah.
And on the other side, being susceptible to that. Is that the word? Susceptible?
Susceptible?
Is
I
that
think
a word? Being accepting
accepting
of the conversation.
accepting of the conversation.
On the other
yeah.
hand, to be like, oh, this person cares enough for us to fix this, and just like accountability and confrontation is hard, but
Worth it.
Yeah, worth it.
Worth it.
Worth it.
Well, or how have you acted in the past when someone's not as willing to work with you when there's a problem? Because I think for me personally, if it is someone that's not willing to, then I have to reevaluate like what that friendship does mean to me. And obviously, any relationship is give and take. So if you realize you're trying to give a lot more than like you're able to take, or that other person is able to give you, then it's like, is this someone that is deserving of my love? And then on the other side, if I can't see myself being able to give, is this a relationship that like is deserving of my give? Is that why I'm not putting in enough energy, or is it something that I need to work on? Do I need to be a better friend? Do I need to be a better lover? Do I need to be a better, a better son? Things like that, is what I think about.
The friendships that I have now that I consider my deepest relationships, my deepest, examples of love in my life have been made so deep and so sturdy and reliable because we've had disagreements and opportunities to have conversations, to hold each other accountable, to talk about things, because it's almost like an added layer of trust and understanding on top. But obviously in the moment, like, I get so scared of confrontation. I think in any, like, if you love someone, you owe that to them. Cause it's like it's like this idea of miscommunication too. Cause if someone is not loving me the way that I'd want to, or if they've offended me, or they've done something that makes me unhappy, their own truth and their own experience may not realize that. I mean, I'm talking very general. It's one thing if it's like blatantly disrespectful and mean, then you can't teach someone to be like nice for that. But on more kind of not as black and white scenarios, I think we owe it to ourselves and to the people that we love to communicate openly about the things that we need out of love and out of relationships, because like, how are they to know?
Right, yeah.
And then the ball's in their court. Like, are you gonna listen to me, and are you gonna make a change?
Yeah.
Because then that's a different conversation if afterwards they don't make a change after you've done all that you could, times are hard, especially now in 2025, in our 20s. I don't know, so much is uncertain right now, and so much is like, I don't know what's happening in 6 months, in a year, next week, tomorrow. I don't know what's happening.
So let's hold on to the things that we know.
Yeah, we know to be true, and that is love, and that's people in our lives. That's me holding on.
We need to normalize talking about love and telling people we love them, because
Yes.
I feel like it's such a like, these are some dark times,
Yeah,
so
I need to be better at that.
We need to start sharing our love a little bit more, or at least being like very clear that we love the people we love,
Yeah.
But
Let's stop being nonchalant and let's start being chalant about love.
let's be chalant about love.
Let's be chalant about love.
Talk about love more. It's fun. Like real love, not fake
Yeah,
love.
also like talking about I love talking about love languages with my friends. I think that's a great, or with anyone you love in your life. Your
That's a new video
parents.
idea.
I have a video like that.
You're right, you do.
Yeah. Do you want to watch it?
It's
Because especially with friends that you've, or like relationships you've had for a very long time, like the ways that I've wanted to be loved when I was 14, so different from the ways that I want to be loved now as a 22-year-old. It's changed. We're all changing.
yeah.
But that means that love can change too to benefit everyone.
Yeah. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Summer.
For all of those people that are celebrating with their friends, their partners, family, or themselves too. You deserve self-love, you know. You deserve any kind of love.
Yeah.
You know?
Love is so awesome. No, like
The way you said that
actually,
sounds like
I'm being truthful. Thanks for being in my video.
thanks for having me.
Also, I learned a lot about love
From you.
yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay, well,
Okay.
happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Love you guys.
Take care. Love yourselves.